Morning, y'all. A little bit different video today. Also, check this out. I got the brand new Pixel Plus podcast hat. Is it Pixel Plus podcast or is it just Pixel Plus? Great job, Riff. But today's video, like I said, a little bit different, very echoey, but we are finally getting things moving and grooving. So this is gonna be the last video where you all see a lot of tin, as well as my office being completely destroyed. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like right now, and then I'll show you all kind of the progress as it goes on. Today, this wall, he's gonna cut it up a little bit high. I don't know how high he's gonna go up. This wall is gonna get torn up as well, and that's gonna go all the way. This light should pop on. Definitely gonna remove that. I do not like this. It is kind of funny though. I've started using it as like a, hey, someone's coming into your office kind of alert, but it's just kind of weird. I think somewhere to like here-ish, he's gonna remove this tin, and then we're finally gonna get that mold removed that you can't really see on video. So that is finally happening. So the mold is getting removed today. Next Wednesday, they're gonna come in and they're gonna jackhammer the floor here all the way here, and then back to basically like where that mold was being removed. They're gonna put a trench in, and then they're gonna put a sump pump, hopefully over there. Get a sump pump. There's no sump pump in my basement, which I've learned is a very uncommon thing. So that's finally gonna get installed. And then the week after, we're finally getting the whole basement drywalled. So you all will see a lot of that progress in this video. They'll put up like this water resistant wall so that if water does continue to come in, it doesn't mold and it'll just go into the sump pump. But when the drywall is done, we're gonna have to move everything from the wall. So we already moved one bookcase. That was this one right here. And again, I still haven't ever set up collection because I knew this was gonna happen. And yes, things are a little chaotic still from the Goodwill purchase. I have to move everything from the wall. And then we might have to move some of the business upstairs into the garage. I'm not fully sure. We don't have 100% a plan yet, but we still got 2 weeks before we gotta make a final decision. You can see we're finally getting through all the guitars. Super excited to finally get these all out of the house. I don't know that I'm gonna ever buy guitars again unless they're really good. Maybe the PS2 ones, maybe the Wii ones too, because it seems like those are pretty reliable as well. You can see this still looks really cool. Finally got the games up there, so we got a ton of games from Goodwill. So these are gonna be kind of the crappier titles, and yes, I know this has Mario Superstar Baseball for the GameCube, but that is a repro art and there's no manual, so it's basically just disc only. This is still kind of crappy games, and then these are like the good ones. So, and cartridge. I didn't separate cartridge, but we have some of the better Xbox games, but these are just kind of like my first go through. I'm like, yep, I'm pretty sure this has some value. We got some GameCube, some nice PSP games, good Xbox 360. All of this is gonna have to be pulled from the wall, and then it's also gonna have to be pulled from the wall in the middle. There is drywall, thankfully. I think around this whole thing right here. I know it's super chaotic right now. This was kind of an impromptu video because I was like, oh, I should probably record before he starts doing work. One side, I don't remember which, does not have drywall, so they'll have to drywall one of those walls too. And then they're gonna have to mud and tape and then paint all of it. You can see we got stuff all along the wall because I like to put stuff along the wall, so we'll have to move that. Drywall guy did talk me into leaving one 10 wall. I've had a few other people to recommend, say, hey, maybe like just keep one, you know, kind of sentimental, you know, the vibe. But the main reason he actually talked me into it is I'm gonna keep the bar, which has the 10, the wood, the burned wood, all of that on it. And he's like, if you just put like a white wall back there, it's gonna look weird. He's like, but if you have the bar and this one wall of 10, it could look really nice. And I've kind of wanted to keep one wall because, like, you know, I could still use a little bit of this as like a backdrop, you know, if I can get in that corner. Right now we have that Hot Wheels collection. So we're gonna leave that wall, but we still have a ton of other stuff we gotta move from the wall. So all of this, I think short term, while I'm not here, I'm actually gonna be at Siege. I think the plan is we'll probably move all of the eBay stuff, especially since most of it is binned. We're gonna move this into the garage. In 2 weeks, whenever we're drywalling, my contractors can still work, so they can still pull orders, they can still list on eBay. So then we're not having to shut anything down. They'll have to work off my dining room table, which is fine, but that's kind of where we are right now. I guess now you guys are gonna kind of see like what it looks like, the mold removal. So glad that's finally gonna be done. Super excited. Here we go. All right, so the mold has all been removed, and now we're getting ready for the next step, which would be to install the sump pump, drain, water resistant wall. But I do want to show you all because this looks so different. So they removed all the drywall. It's kind of crazy just seeing an empty wall the way it is now. And then over here, really crazy. It honestly feels like so much bigger. Not that I have ever thought my office looked small, but it looks even bigger now. But I did want to show you all what it looked like real quick before I tried to move stuff back over against the wall, because I have to work in here for the next week. So I need to move the other stuff that's in my way, because we got these and all this stuff is in front of my desk right now. All right, so the sump pump is done. The wall is done. All of it is done in my office, which is good, but it went a lot differently than I was expecting. So the way that I understood it is they were gonna put up this like water barrier wall, then it would be great. We'd be able to move on with finishing the rest of the basement. The way it turned out is a lot differently. Here's what it looks like now. So we have this nice white wall everywhere. We got the sump pump installed, we got cement drying, so y'all can see that. The way I understood it is that this was basically gonna look like a room that had been drywalled, because I thought this was going over the framing, but they removed all the framing, so now this room has to get framed. I did not know, and then we'll have to run the wiring as well for that. So not ideal. Then we'll have to drywall over it. The one good thing though is originally I thought the way this was going to go, I would never be able to put anything on the walls because we can't puncture this water barrier wall. But with the way they did it, we can frame over it and then we can drywall over it. So I can actually put stuff on the wall, which is awesome. It just, this turned out a lot differently than I was expecting. Show you all kind of what this all looks like. They had to put a hole in this wall too. So yeah, it's kind of a disaster now. And then we'll also have to get the floor repaired. The bills are just racking up on this project, but now we are in the process of, we're gonna have to move a lot of stuff out of the basement. So what we're doing is, my nephew's doing it right now, emptying this shelving unit, because we're gonna move this to the garage, and then we're gonna take all the eBay inventory, this all over here, because we have to get to the 10, remove that, and then the drywall people are gonna drywall over it. We have to have access to this. We can't just move it to the middle because it's kind of a too small of an area. So we're gonna move this all to the garage so that next week when the drywall is being done, we can still keep the eBay store running. So we're just gonna have to set this up basically in the garage. This is gonna be quite the process, but it'll be good once this is done. So I'm gonna show you all. The basement is basically a disaster now. This used to be the shipping area, so we moved all of it out of this area. It's really dark. So this was like cleaning area here. This is eventually where I'll have stuff displayed, but this is my office. It's not too different right now. It's just kind of a mess because we had to get everything away from the wall. Looks pretty crazy in here. Y'all can kind of see it. Oh, these were the shelves that were on the wall. Kind of bunched them all together. And then this is all unlisted inventory, just kind of in the middle, more unlisted. It was all shoved against this wall. Goes around. We had shelves there. They're in the middle as well. Card table resurfacer is here. Cards are all along this wall. And then this is kind of a dump area because we're gonna leave the bar the way it is. And then, oh, I do need to move those, but over here was eBay alley basically, and we still have some stuff here. This thing is incredibly heavy, so I was not even going to consider moving that upstairs. We ended up putting a lot of this stuff in the garage kind of show you all what that looks like. Looks crazy. So this is the way our garage looks right now. Because the basement had to have a lot of stuff moved out, we moved a lot of it to the garage for 2 weeks. I kind of hate it because I like the way it looks in here. Tall ceilings, but I like to park my car in the garage, so we're not going to use this for eBay stuff. Show you all kind of what it looks like. So we have oldest inventory all the way back here, kind of spans here, here, here. And then this is the absolute newest stuff. Then next week I'm going to be at Siege. And so my contractors, their job is to test all of these consoles. And then I think once they're tested, they'll go here. But we got a whole lot of them. But it's going to be really good. Finally get all of these tested, sent in, etc. Really good for my finances. I'm going to love that bit. These are also all Guitar Heroes that we've tested, gotten boxed. We're waiting on a couple of games. I might try and get these sent off Monday. It just kind of depends on what Monday looks like. This is kind of the setup for the next 2 weeks. You all probably won't see much of it because I'll be gone, but hopefully this goes well. All right, so I guess I'll give you all another update of the basement. It looks extremely different now. 10 is all gone. Show you all what that looks like. So going right outside my office, lighting is gonna be really bad because we lost that dumb light that was on the wall, the motion censored. But we're down to the studs on all of this. The covers for the fireplace are gone. Studs all the way around. Thankfully, this back wall has drywall already on it. We had the drywall people come out last night. I'm a little nervous about that. I'll explain in a minute, so stay tuned, I guess. But they came over last night, did a whole bunch of measuring. You can see we had a door here. That'll probably go back. And then we did leave these. They kind of talked me into this. They said we can remove these, but it's gonna cost you like $1,000 to remove them, haul them off. They're like, you could just paint them. And it's only on like certain walls. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's just paint it. Might be a little bit easier to do it that way. And then we can also save some money, which is always good. Downstairs is a total disaster right now. Here is where all of the eBay stuff was. It is all removed. They did leave me a nice bottle of Aquafina down there, so appreciate the flippers for doing that. It's always nice to have a little snack. And then we're back to doing some eBay listing right now, so we're taking pictures, getting some more stuff listed on eBay, because whenever they do start down here, they are, I mean, we're not gonna be able to use downstairs. We're gonna be using a dining room table upstairs in the garage. So until they do, we're gonna use this as much as we can. So kind of like what's got me nervous is I think we'll be fine. Basically, they came out, they took a look around, they did all the measuring, kind of talked through like what things I want changed. Like, so we're gonna move a couple outlets, and then I'm gonna have an actual door to my office, not that plywood door. So that's gonna be good. Talk through everything, and they are gonna have another drywall guy come out. I think he's probably gonna be one of the guys that actually does the work. Have him come out so that they can kind of talk through any kind of concerns or things that may add a little bit extra cost. I was like, okay, cool, that sounds great. Because the plan is that they were gonna start tomorrow. They told me, we'll come out, we'll get you a quote on that day, you'll sign it, and then we'll get started the next day. I was like, cool, sounds great. And I'm leaving town this week. Like, when is he gonna come out? Like tomorrow? Like, oh, it'll probably be like Wednesday. And I'm like, I'm leaving Tuesday, so that's not gonna work. It's not so much like that I wouldn't be here, but it was more like I was planning on them doing the work while I was gone. I was like, okay, cool. So once you get the quote, when can you guys get started? Usually once you sign the quote, we'll get started in about 10 days. So I'm like looking around, I'm like, I literally just destroyed the basement so that you all could have a better opportunity to measure and everything like that to be more precise. I thought once we did that, you would be able to give me a quote like next day or same day and then get started the next day. And so I told him, I was like, I'm basically shutting down my business so that you all can drywall. So the longer this whole thing takes, the more I'm gonna be losing money. I'm still a little nervous, but it sounds like they're gonna have someone come out and they're gonna at least get started framing. So they're gonna have to frame these two walls. So they're gonna get started with that, and then they should be able to get a quote for drywall pretty soon. I'm like a little nervous of what this is gonna look like, but hopefully we can get this figured out. It's frustrating because I had planned them to do this work while I was on this trip, and then it doesn't sound like it's gonna happen that way. Hopefully the next thing you all see is what the basement looks like as they're doing some work. I'm very stressed because this is gonna make it a lot harder for me and my contractors to do work. If this ends up taking more than a couple of weeks, it's gonna start to weigh on me a lot. So stay tuned to see what that looks like next. So I realized I didn't really give you all an update on what was going on with contractors. So I ended up telling them to kick rocks. They saw this as an opportunity to kind of exploit us for extra cash because of the quick turnaround, even though this is what they said they do. So we ended up moving on. We ended up using a company, I think it was J3 Enterprises. They're really good, I highly recommend them. Not sponsored, but if you're in Kansas City, you need drywall, call them up. So we ended up reaching out to them and a couple other companies. They came out, gave us a quote, did an absolute phenomenal job. They didn't do framing or anything like that. They just drywalled where we already had framing. The other thing that you all are about to see as well is while I was gone at Siege, they were down here, they hung the drywall. The day they hung the drywall, we had a ton of water come into our basement again. That's what this clip is of water coming into our basement. So this is what it's gonna look like with the drywall in the basement. It's all up, it's been mudded, it's been taped, and now we're gonna paint it. But I do wanna show you all, it looks amazing. My office, still a disaster, and we still got water coming in, but here we go, look at this. Look at all this beautiful brand new drywall. We got paint over here, that's the next step. But look at this, this looks amazing. We decided to keep this. We are going to paint that black. It's gonna look really cool, I think. But look at all this beautiful drywall, and then the drywall company cleaned all of this up because this looked terrible underneath the 10. They took the paper roll down, but we have drywall. This is gonna look so much better. Missing a door here, it's actually over there. Actually, I might paint that black. That might look cool black. But look at this, this is gonna look amazing. Kept the 10. This has been quite the process. It's actually been like 2 weeks probably since I did a video. But look at this beautiful drywall. Got more over here. All that ugly 10 is gone. Goodbye, Chipotle. And more drywall. I'm excited for drywall. We are actually going to start painting probably tonight. I have a sinus infection. Brain's a little fuzzy today, so we'll see how far I get on painting. I am going to the doctor tomorrow morning, so, and by the time this video comes out, I will have probably been well for over a week, but drywall. So let's go. Hey y'all, so I thought I would show you all kind of where we are with everything. And then I did kind of realize that I had not showed kind of the setup that we are using while the basement is all under construction. So I'll show you all that real quick. This is our dining room. So we got the shipping table here. This is like a stuff freshly listed, padded envelopes, you know, packing materials, etc. And then we have our testing station here, extra batteries, controller tester, etc. This has actually worked out pretty well, but I think we're all ready to be back downstairs. Let's go downstairs, show you all where we are with that now. All right, so first off, we have the eBay corner. We are all drywalled and we officially have paint up. It's a mess still. We're about to clean it up. Look at that beautiful white paint. It's gonna help brighten up the whole basement quite a bit. And then we're gonna be adding some lights here in a little bit, but that'll be in the next couple of weeks. It's still a total disaster, as you can tell. This is the photo area. So we are painting all of this black, and then we got the white up here. So basically we are done painting the areas that we need to get done ASAP so we can start moving everything back down here, but we still got some more painting to do. And then over here, so you can see this black looks really nice. It's not done yet, but we're getting there. Got the white up here, so all looks really good. There might be a little bit of touch up we need to do, but yeah, this is looking so much better. Now we're just in the process of cleaning this all up. You can see we are just about done with the main part of the basement so that we can move back down here. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing today. This is a shipping table, and then we're gonna be putting a door here. That's gonna help a lot. My office is still completely under construction, so that'll be the project over the next 2 weeks, but priority was getting this stuff done so that we can get moved. So next you all will get to see kind of what it looks like once we have everything moved back in to the backstock area and then the eBay corner. So it's been a few days since I recorded to show you all the basement. We are finally getting things set up, so I'll show you all kind of what it looks like. You can see it's still under construction. My office is finally getting worked on. So over here, this is the shipping area. This is new. We have boxes over here, shelves for that. And then this is gonna be a dedicated boxing area. This is the actual shipping area. Over here, we're processing a bunch of NES games for eBay. So these are all gonna get listed. Make sure to check out that NES collection I bought. If you haven't, really cool video. I have a little bit of collection up. Still have a lot to go, but we have the CRT and then we have the flat screen that's gonna go up there. Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna box in so that I can have consoles over here so that we can actually test games. Then over here we have the backlog, so kind of rearranged it. So we got consoles here. This is all Goodwill stuff right here. This is like good to go stuff. And then this is just additional consoles. These aren't supposed to be up here. These are for collection, but they are. This is all stuff for eBay. This is miscellaneous. And then we're starting to basically lay out games by type over here. And then this is still kind of miscellaneous, unorganized stuff. We have Goodwill stuff here. Over here, we have cords, controllers, etc. So we moved this over here. And also we painted. It looks so much better. We did this black paint that we have throughout the rest of our house. And then over here, we have the listing area. Quentin is listing right now. We have cards. So like this is listing and cards area, but we're just using it for listing because we're not doing a whole lot of cards right now. We'll probably get back to that eventually, but other stuff just is more valuable, so it's not worth our time. This is kind of still a mess because we're still a little bit under construction. This is the testing area. Not fully set up because we haven't tested anything yet, but we're getting there. But like I said, this black looks so much better. They had this like brown wood. It was like a copper color painted on there, and it looked terrible. Got the bar with the 3D printer, refrigerator with drinks. This is gonna stay here, but we're gonna have to get rid of these doors. And then we have the eBay area. We did a little bit of reorganizing, so we tried to keep like similar items together. So like plushes, shoes, large electronics, toys, games, camera stuff, fragile stuff like that, kind of all mixed together. Yeah, we're finally getting a lot more set up. Right now they are in the process of getting my office finally organized or drywalled, framed, all of that, and then they're gonna have to run electrical, and then they should be adding lights here, which is gonna be incredible. But we'll finally get some actual walls back in my office because this looks pretty bad, and then we can start doing some cool stuff in here. It's probably been like 3 weeks since I've actually recorded an update, but we have major movement and I want to show you all. So I'm in my office. It doesn't look perfectly done yet, but we're getting really close. We have drywall. It has been sanded. It is ready for prime. We got this nice new angled wall, super exciting. Not really, but I have some ideas on how to make this look cool. I hung a TV, got rid of my top monitor. We have a door coming on Wednesday. We are ready to start getting this done. It's not gonna be 100% done this week because there's some additional touches I want to do to this room to make this like cool and exciting for future recordings. There's a lot of other cool things we've done in the basement, but I don't want to show those to you yet. I do have to show you all a negative. So this is the wall that was, you can see this is where they put the water resistant stuff on the wall. As you notice, it's not done drywall. Like a month ago, I think at this point, we got a huge rainstorm and had more water coming in. We called the company and we're like, hey, you all said this was gonna fix it. What's going on? They came out, they looked at it, said it'd be $1,900, but because they didn't do it fully the first time, they give us a discount. They're doing it $1,500. So now we're at about $20,000 for this entire thing. Next Thursday, they're going to Take out all this brand new drywall. Oh yeah, see, I got some collection up. All this brand new drywall here. They're gonna move that drywall, and then they're going to run this waterproof wall all the way over. Theoretically, that should fix the water problem. I really hope so. I don't want to pay for drywall anymore. I don't want to pay for more water resistant stuff. This should fix it. And then basically a week after that, I have a housewarming party, so my friends can finally see the basement, the business fully in action, and then, you know, the rest of the house, whatever that is. It is nice to finally start getting collection out, but I have to cover it, move it still quite a bit because it gets dust on it, but we're almost done. And then I do want to show you all some cool stuff in the next video that I've done to make this business even better, or this basement even better. Show you the paint next. I got all the walls primed. They're not perfectly primed. You can see in the corners. I didn't hit the corners super hard. Just a nice coat of white paint can go a long ways. The floors still look terrible, but this is about to start looking crazy different now that we're gonna actually put color up. So the next update is gonna be with it painted. It's gonna look crazy different. I'm kind of going all out on the color. Only 2 colors, but I'm going bold. It's been several days since I recorded anything. I did want to show you all where we're at now because we're almost done. Today and tomorrow is basically when we're finishing. And there may be some things that still aren't perfect. Right outside my office. So we have drywall full way. You can see it's still very dirty. Lots of work to still be done. We did get a TV stand for the Trinitron. I don't know how it's holding it up, but it is. But we're getting there. We're finally getting pieces put up. Moved this bookcase over here because this still needs to be sanded. And then we're going to paint it as well. But we're getting there. We're finally done in my office as far as painting and everything. Maybe a little bit of touch-ups. We're pretty much done. So next thing you guys are gonna see is, I guess, my display, my hallway of collection and stuff. So we're finally done with construction. This has been quite the mess. So I do want to show you all what everything looks like down here. So let's go in here. And you guys are gonna have to wait until the next video. So come back in 2 weeks. We'll have a full tour of the business, the office, everything. Come back for that. I'm out, gangsters.